And good morning, people. Welcome back to Persona 5 Royal. We have been preparing to steal Kamoshida's heart. We've got the help of, well, we've got some medicine from the clinic, and we've got a place where we can buy that now. We've got some new weapons, we've got some new armor, we've got some new guns. Now all we need to do is prepare our tools. And to do that, we're going to clean our desk.
That desk! Hurry now and clean it up!
Because Morgana is going to show us how.
Great. Now you can make things whenever you want.
So we can create infiltration tools at this desk.
I'll provide the materials this time. Try making a lockpick.
Lockpicks, very important things. But infiltration tools improve proficiency. One of our social stats that we do need to raise. And as we rank up, we can make an additional tool. Yeah, we're wanting to do this as much as possible. Also, during bad weather, so rain, and I think it's just rain for bad weather, but there might be a few others, we gain focus and we're able to make additional tools as well. We do need to have materials for this.
Don't think too hard about it. You'll get the hang of it.
Morgana's going to provide it for us today. Actually already has added one to each of the things, I believe. Yeah, the tin clasp, we didn't have one of them before, and we only had 2 silk yarn. So they provided the tools for that. But there's not just that, we can make plenty of other things as well if we have the materials. Air cannon, stun gun, freeze spray, Molotov cocktails, throwing items in battle that do elemental damage, good to get people knocked down fairly quickly. Spotlights, which raise the chances of being targeted by foes. Vanish balls guarantee escape from battle, except mini boss battles, that sort of thing. Gohoems allows you to return to the metaverse entrance. Smoke screens elude enemy pursuit by becoming temporarily undetectable. Basically, they can't see you. Calming aroma lowers the palace security level. The lockpicks, they do exactly what you think though. Open one locked treasure chest. And since we've been asked to make them, well,
Everyone starts off a little clumsy. Don't be sad if it doesn't go well at first, okay?
so let's make it.
Great. We should be able to use this.
There is a chance, it's not very often at this base level, that you can make an additional lockpick. I'm not really going to matter about it because I've got 10 from this DLC thing, so I'm just going to stick with it. But there is, if you want to, you can continuously reload until you get 2.
Yeah.
And there's some points in proficiency. Excellent. I believe that gave us 3 points. One thing about the notes above your head. 1 note means 2 points. Two notes means either 3 or 4. 3 notes means 5, 7 or 10 from what I've gathered and people have been reporting. So those notes aren't quite indicative of what you get, but they mostly are.
We should be ready now. We're heading into the palace tomorrow. Let's get some sleep.
Good morning. Come on, hurry up and get to class. Good morning. That admirable behavior won't do you any good once you're expelled.
Well, that wraps up the homeroom period. A word with you, please. There's something I'd like to ask you. It won't take long.
I see you're already getting on top of the problem I'd mentioned this morning, Miss Kawakami. I appreciate the support.
Thank you again.
Oh, you know this guy, Yoshizawa?
Yes, he lent me a helping hand earlier.
I recommend you steer clear of the likes of him if you have any consideration for your future. Remember the discussion we just had? There are a number of students in this school you shouldn't get involved with. This one's at the top of the list.
Oh, the delinquent transfer student?
Sorry to interrupt, but I need to use the guidance office.
Oh, pardon me. We should be going too. Don't want to get in the way of guiding this delinquent and all.
Please excuse us.
After you. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Did something happen between you and Mr. Kamoshida?
Yes, but why do you ask?
Well, there was that little exchange just now, but that's not all. He gave me a brief lecture this morning, and your name came up. Something about the dangers of a lack of supervision. I don't mean to pry, but just make sure you don't go causing trouble, okay? Oh, and one more thing. That girl outside the office, you didn't make a pass at her, did you?
All we did was meet on the train and we said something, so no.
All right. Mr. Kamoshida has a real close eye on you. Apparently you've been getting involved with Sakamoto-kun. You seem acquainted with Yoshizawa-san as well. Maybe you're just naturally drawn to athletes? Sorry, bad joke. That's all I wanted to discuss. You're free to go.
So for all of Kawakami's sort of pushing us a little bit just to make sure we're all right, she's sort of taken a laid-back attitude as well to it. So we are mostly in the clear with her, I would say. I don't think she feels quite the same sort of intent to drag us down as Kamoshida does, which isn't really a surprise. Kawakami's a sort of actual teacher, trying to look out for our future. We're definitely going to pull this off, and we will. Shiho is one of the victims, the one closest to our team. We're going to do it for her, at the very least, but we're also going to do it for everyone in the volleyball team and anyone else that Kamoshida has been abusing. Board meeting is May 2nd. We've got to take care of him before that. And we're ready for this. So the plan is set. We've just got to put it in motion. If you cannot execute the plan by the deadline, it is game over. It is one of the few, actually one of the main permanent things of game over that you can get in this. When you're losing in battle, you can retry the battle or just go back to your previous room, that sort of thing. But if you do not meet the deadline, game over. Palaces contain many strong enemies. Consult with your allies and make use of various facilities in the city to ensure a successful infiltration. In other words, go buy stuff. Make use of your confidence. Build up your social stats. Everything works towards better infiltration in the long run. Mission start. What to do next? There is something called the network function, and I'll show that in just a moment. Basically, we press the touchpad part of the thing, and assist commands come up. There we go. So we can check any of these. We can go to the hideout straight away from this. We can check our confidence, who are available. At the moment, we've got that. It gives you clues, basically. Status, what you can do with your social studies or social stats. And the network on the left, if you press the directional key, it basically tells you what the majority of the people on the network actually did. So as we can see, 7% of people who did this studied in the library, 36% spent time with confidants, 57% went to the palace. I'm going to try and avoid using it too much. I've got my own plan. I am going to be trying my best to raise as much as possible, but I am not likely going to get the a full completion in this playthrough. It's very unlikely. Okay, to max everyone's confident level, max all the social stats. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to do as best as I can to get them as high as possible, but we'll see from that. Now, see closer to the end of the game what's happening there. I am function, and usually is asking if we are going to the palace. We are not. As I said, we've got a lot of things that we need to do. I've got a plan set in motion. We are going to go to the palace, but not for a few days. First up, we are going to the library.
Excuse me?
The library does a few things, and it's pretty much exactly what you think it is. You can borrow books. Yep, we are. And this tells you about the studying you can do. You can study in the corner, and you can raise your knowledge, and you can raise your guts. Dependent on who's in the library is what gets raised more. But I'm here today to borrow a book. We would like The Pirate Legend. Tell of the fearless Captain Kidd. Reading this will build guts.
Here.
And we've got that. So we've borrowed that. We do need to bring it back at some point, but we're going to read it first. That's the point of a book. And the library, actually. After that, we are going to actually go to the courtyard. I said in the last part about SP drinks that you can get some SP drinks at store 5 SP per, and I said I wasn't going to use them. Doesn't mean I'm not going to buy them. I'm going to try to avoid using them for the moment, but I do want them. There's 2 there. The next 2 are in Shibuya, and yes, you can free travel basically anywhere you need to. So pressing the R1 button brings you to the immediate area. Once again, brings you to the greater area. We're going to Shibuya and Central Street. And we are going into the arcade, which we can now quick travel to. So that's 2 of each. There's one more place we need to go for that. Do I need to pick up anything else from in this area? I don't believe so. I think we're good. Yeah, I believe everything else is not required right now. There are some things in the underground mall which I just want to have a quick show of. Unfortunately, these don't do what I thought they was going to do. So unfortunately, I'm not going to make use of it. So the money I've got is just going to sit there for a while. Breath ring, energy ring, ring of vitality, life bonus, life gain, life surge, chakra choker, mind choker, soul choker. The same things for mana. Basically what these do is they give you a bonus to that stat. So mana bonus is 10%, life bonus is 10% for HP and MP. The gain version gives 20%, and I believe the surge gives you 30%, although I haven't actually checked that one. So unfortunately it doesn't have exactly what I was hoping for. What I was hoping for is gain per turn, which isn't happening, but at least I know what those do now. So back to Yongan Jaya. You see that sort of tarot card there. That is telling you a few things. It's telling you there's confidence there that you can raise. We already know what the languid doctor is. We sort of already know who it is as well. But it gives you clues, basically. If Ryuji was able to be raised as a confidant, there'd likely be one over here in the school area as well. The back streets. Want to make a quick stop over here because this one has the last of our SP drinks. You can buy 2 of each of these, so we've got 4 of both, which is our maximum per week. At the moment. So next week I'll likely pick up another 4 of each. Do you want to buy the things at the second-hand store here? You can buy 3 of each of these. Again, this is on a per week basis. And also the DVD player. These are the items you want for making infiltration tools. So yeah, I want them.
Hey, hey.
We don't even have a TV. Yeah, we'll be sorting that out in a moment. Right now though, what we're going to do for today is actually talk to the languid doctor and raise our confidant. Gain the doctor here as a confidant, Takemi. And we can now quick travel here, which is good. So,
Well,
let's get on with this. Do you have any special medicine?
huh?
We have reasons.
Oh. What are you trying to do?
The one from yesterday. A little too carried away with it. What, this medicine that was mentioned to make someone invincible? We'll take it all. What are we up to? Well, let's just say it's for the exams.
Huh?
We do actually want to get to them before we're expelled after all. Improved concentration, reduced fatigue. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely good in a cognitive environment and in a palace that's going to be very long.
Take care.
Doesn't look like she's happy with that though. But we sort of need it. Almost as much as a... Wow, what are the ingredients of this thing? Or are you having to get them without proper channels? Well, can I work for it? Personally, no, but I do know that Joker is. Well, how much does it pay? Clinical trials for the medicine. I don't think that's what rest assured means, by the way, Takemi.
Did you change your mind?
Well, we've got this far. And we do need her items, and we do want her as a confidant, very much so. Well, bottoms up. Bitter yet sour. Interesting. And we died. Game over. I guess we have to try again.
Good evening. Do you remember anything from the moment you took the medicine until now? By the look in your eyes, I'd say you don't. You briefly woke from your coma, but you were completely dazed during the entire examination. You eventually lost consciousness and fell back asleep. Are you out of your mind? Only an idiot would have drank that.
Not out of mind, but probably close.
Fine. By the way, the reason you lost consciousness was because of the taste. It produces a foul smell when it mixes with gastric juices, similar to surströmming. Oh well. All that matters is that thanks to you, I was able to get some good data. Okay, it's my turn to make good on my part of the deal. That's why I waited until you woke up. I don't want the general public to know about my original medicines. So, you're strictly prohibited from disclosing what happens here to anyone. Understood?
Sounds good, but if we're going that route, it should really be the same for you.
Then it's a deal. As long as you come here for it, I'll give you the medicine at a good price whenever you want. I may even add additional selections in time. I look forward to your continued patronage.
Those additional selections are going to be very useful.
Considering all the actions you've taken, you must have had someone with medical expertise. Who? And how did you treat your wounds? It'll be easy to find out who if we look into this, you know.
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast acquired a new vow. It shall become the wings of rebellion that breaketh thy chains of captivity. With the birth of the death persona, I have obtained the winds of blessing that shall lead to freedom and new power.
So the Death Arcana. Tai Takumi, the Doctor. Remember that this is the Arcana version of Death, which is Death, Rebirth, and Death, Life, and Rebirth, or something like that. So yeah, definitely takes into account for being a Doctor here. Rejuvenation increases the selection of healing items at the clinic. Right now, all it does is give a few items that can, for health, that can be cure all things, so they affect everyone in the battle. That's pretty much all it adds. But later on, there'll be a whole lot better stuff, including some things I'm really wanting to get hold of. But that's something like rank 5 or 7, so yeah, it's going to be a while.
So, when can you come back for the next clinical trial? Oh, you don't remember that part either? Well, I was saying that teenage test subjects are quite valuable in the medical research industry. So I'll provide you the medicine for your entrance exams, and in exchange, you'll be my guinea pig. I have to perfect this medicine. If you're able to move now, you can go home. All right. Take care.
Cooperating in the clinical trial increases guts. There's a note, so we've just gained 2 guts.
Hey.
We will be back to do a lot more with Takemi later. She's actually one of my focuses for raising social stats as quickly, raising as a confidant as quickly as possible. Please go easy on me.
All right. Take care.
You might have noticed those notes that came out there. Those are different to social stat notes. Those are confidant notes.
Hey.
You really want to gain as many of them as possible, which means you can raise your confidant level with them quicker. Those 3 should be enough to raise Tai Takemi again fairly quickly. However, we need something a little bit more than just those notes. We also need Guts level 2, which is why I am focusing getting Guts up to level 2 as quickly as possible to start off with. That Guts book is going to be one of them. There is another thing which I'm going to be picking up very soon that will also do that. And Sojiro now is telling us we can make use of pretty much anything in the place to sort of do things in the evening. Except the kitchen. So in the evening we're able to engage in various activities. We can study at the table, we can read at the counter, we can use cleaning tools to clean the toilet and, improve kindness. There's also a crossword, which we're going to see in a moment. Actually, it's right there. The Place magazine. Crossword puzzles. You solve the puzzle, it gives you a bit of knowledge. Try and find the answer that matches the hint and the number of spaces.
Hey!
The good thing about crossword puzzles is they take no time. This is also a change between the original and the royal version. Before, it used to cost time to do these crosswords, now it does not. It doesn't give you quite as much knowledge in comparison, but it's still worth doing every time you see the crossword available. The only one you need to get right is the one with the blue dots, which is the question up in the top right, how school years are divided. But I like to answer all the questions if I can. So the final result. Your grade. A student's test. The exam. And impart knowledge. Is to teach. This particular crossword does use all of the letters on the right, but there likely will be some later that will not. As for the actual answer to the crossword, semesters.
All right.
I see. Nice.
So there's a point. Oh, a note in knowledge. So there's 2 points. As for what we're doing tonight, we have something to do up the top here.
Hey,
And well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to clean up this side of the room. That side's not too bad, but this side, still a bit of a mess.
oh, oh,
And there's a plant.
nice.
Yeah, that plant's going to be very important.
Okay. That's incredible.
That's a lot better on that right side of the room, isn't it? Got some shelving, we've got a nice plant holding the room there, and we've also found a few things after cleaning up. The social fort, and the Yoncha Walker number 4.
Yeah.
And we also found a TV. I said we were going to sort that problem out in just a moment. But heck, it may be an old CRT TV, but if you can watch things on it
Well,
and it works, who's complaining? So Monday 18th is done. Tuesday 19th.
This sucks.
Try reading some books. Get more knowledge out of them. And plenty of other stats.
nice.
Books are great.
Oh,
There's also a bookstore on Central Street, so you can buy books if you want to, or you can borrow them from the library. We'll likely be making use of both.
Let's get started.
Everyone views the world differently. Very true.
Try to answer this.
So take a look at this. Between A and B, which line seems longer? This is one of the standard optical illusion tests. The answer is C, is they're the same. However, that is, we are going to get that because we want the knowledge. You can also check the network. And it will give you clues on saying which is the right answer. It will only give you a percentage of what people have answered, not what is the correct one. As you can see, 96% have said the correct answer, which this is. 4% have said B, which if you just look glancingly at it, B does seem longer. No one's answered A.
This is it. You do know.
but it's just how exactly what he says. Two different people will see two different things, and a third person will see something different as well. Cognition. A lot of these questions are based on things you would get from this game. Cognition, the social stats, other things like that. And there's our 2 points in knowledge. So, what are we doing now? Well, we're still in the classroom. Haven't decided yet. Well, actually I have, but we're not.
Wow.
And this is his invitation. Basically, when they contact you, it's very likely they've got a reason to talk to you, and raising that confidence level is usually tied in with that. Arn is the one that's going to be asking if we are going to Palace today. We are not.
Really?
We are going first to Central Street. We've got a DVD player, we've got a TV now. To the right here, we've got a rental place.
Yep.
Annual membership, if we're a student, it's just a little under 5,000 yen for the entire campaign. Rent any old DVD you want without any extension fee. We can only rent one at a time. That's perfectly fine. And a year is basically how long this game is. So we are going to make use of that. So, what one are we going to get? Well, I did say we're going to be working on guts, didn't I? We can get something that makes us more charming, raises our charm, one that does kindness, one that does proficiency, and one that does guts. The X folders. Yes, they are all based on real world things as well. Yeah, X folders, X files, Guy MacGyver. Yeah, you'll see a lot of those sorts of things in this. Now that we've got that though, we want to go and actually spend some time with Ryuji. Brings back some memories. Remember, he was part of the track team before his incident with Kamoshida. And he's thinking about trying to run again. This is all about what happened in that metaverse. He felt stiff, he felt not intact with his own body, which isn't really surprising. He hasn't really trained since the track team, and if you don't train every day, well, You do seem pretty excited about getting back into it. Unfortunately, we are getting in on this as well, so yeah, we're doing the running as well. So, around the school with Ryuji. So the track team was the biggest thing that the school had going for it. Then the coach got fired and he took over. This is all Kamoshida's ego. This is what Ryuji is using to spur himself on. Ryuji was the one that would fight back if anything happened. And bringing up the parents, yeah, that's... What about them? One of those childhoods. Well, he's found out about a whole lot of things. He's got others working for him before. Wouldn't be surprised if he did it that way to get the knowledge. So now Ryuji's alone. Everyone else sees him as a traitor. We're probably the first friend he's had in a very long while. Do you regret it though? Yeah, he's not very smart. He's more of the physical sort of person. So, rank 2, Punk Talk. So, if negotiations with an upbeat Shadow fail, we can try again. This gives us a little bit more leeway in trying to gain gain shadows as personas. Ryuji helps with that in this particular instance.
All right. All right. See ya.
No, that's not quite all though. We do have a little bit of a follow-up here. So after that, Ryuji contacts us just to say he's a bit out of shape. He really wants to get back into the swing of things. But it's never too late to get going again.
Hey.
He'll know what's up as soon as we see his grades. Well, you will, and they're going to be fairly good, I'm hoping. We're not going to do anything downstairs right now, because Morgana's got something else for us here.
Not a good idea.
I'm not too good with heights. But basically this is another version of gaining stats. We can use the chair for pull-ups, and it actually gives us HP. So each time we do that we gain a little bit of HP, and the more times we do it, the more HP we gain. Personally, I don't think that's a good way of spending time. I'd rather much more be raising one of my social stats or a confidant. Speaking of social stats, this plant.
Oh yeah.
If I didn't have the bionutrients that I got from the DLC, I would have been buying a few. But we are going to be getting some, using these nutrients on this plant. Because you look after your plant, you gain some kindness. That gave us 3 points of kindness. You can look at put nutrients, or later we'll be using fertilizer with the plant every 16 days.
Yes.
It doesn't take up any time, and just and you're being good to a plant, and you get social stats out of it. What's to not like? The final thing we're going to do today, though, is we're going to read the first part of our Gutso. This is where we do it. So we look, examine the counter, and we can read. However, customers in the store mean you can't do anything like that. So the best way to get rid of them, just talk to them. Sometimes they don't do it immediately, but just keep talking to them and they will eventually disappear. So now that he's gone, we can actually read. Each of those tags means that you need to do that each time. So Pirate Legend here has 2 tags. Our first point of reading will fill out 1 tag, our second will do the second, and then we will get the bonus from that particular book. This one has 1, so we only need to read it once, but we are going with Pirate Legend. We want that gut score.
Yeah. Make sure you close up.
wouldn't be surprised if he's already read it.
Hey, hey!
How far did we get? We didn't get all the way through, and we'll continue at another time, which is fine. Because this morning we've been able to grab a seat for ourselves. And getting a seat means that we can read. So we're going to finish up the Pirate Legend.
Wow! Oh!
So we've now finished the Pirate Legend. The lead, Captain Kidd, the leader of a ragtag group of adventurers. And because we've been learning about him, we've just got 5 guts. So that's a total of 7 so far. Definitely an efficient use of our time. Consider getting, well, guess you're getting yourself a job. Yeah. It's another use of time. Shibuya Underground has some places where, has a couple of magazine stands where you can actually apply for jobs. You get money out of them and you get social stats. They're a very good use of your time. Yes, we'll be making use of our time that way in some point. They're also needed for something else, but we won't be doing that part of it for a little while. We'll just have to earn some. We did get a load of money from the DLC things, and I do have some items I could sell, but no. We're going to be making our money this way. Oh, well, a little bit of money this way. It's not a whole lot, actually. We'll mostly be gaining money through drops in the palace. So,
I hate the rain.
that's it, and it's raining. 12 days till expulsion. Does that mean we're going into the palace? No, actually. Rain means something else in my mind. So we're going to go do that, but that's next time. Until then, have a wonderful day. Have lots of fun. Goodbye.
Let's do it.